right, sounds great. Thanks for joining us here. We got to work the baseball team in here. We can't leave them out. Coach Jim Gant, one of the most successful coaches in Division II baseball history, joining us. He has one of his top players, Dylan Driver, also joining us on tonight's show. First, let's talk with Coach Gant, who's entering his 28th season coming up as head coach. He was inducted into the Catawba Hall of Fame in 2015. You've been to the Division II World Series 3 times, including a runner-up finish in 2015. 944 wins. That's a sack record. Quite an accomplishment, but what are you most proud of in that entire career?
That I've lived that long, I think. You got to be in it a long time to win some games, but we've also lost a whole bunch. But I think the thing I'm most proud of is our players, how they've approached it and how they've represented our school and what they've gone on to do in their lives.
I think Coach Haynes mentioned it earlier, and that's a big thing you talk about is representing your school, representing your teammates, yourself. You have to respect yourself, respect the game, respect the opponent, and you're representing your school. It's how you carry yourself, and you really impart that to your players. I think that's been a big part of Catawba's success, hasn't it?
Well, certainly. The guys come in, and they're coming from places that they're representing their families and their parents well. They've been taught already, and we're trying not to recruit problems. That's one of the things. But when they come in, they're representing their family first and foremost, and then they're representing the name on the front of our jerseys. But the guys have done a good job with it. But I would like to be able to take credit for that kind of stuff, but they come to us already known for being good people, and that's important.
Speaking of that, when you're recruiting, I look at your roster, plenty of local players from Carson High School, South Rowan. We've got a couple of people coming in this year, transferring back in from West Rowan and Salisbury. Plenty of good baseball here in Rowan County and surrounding counties, and great coaches. How important is that in recruiting them, knowing you're going to get good quality players?
That's very important. That's been our lifeline from a recruiting standpoint. We see them in the summers a lot of times. How you react after you strike out or make an error is crucial, but more importantly, how you speak to your mother afterwards is even more important. And we get to see that when we're around, the local players. But the baseball in this county has been really good, and the coaches in this county has been outstanding.
And I know the fans have been excited with all the improvements that have happened in the last few years at Newman Park with the artificial surface there. And we just want to give a quick shout out as well tonight. Representative Harry Warren is here with us tonight, and he's been very instrumental in getting $2 million allocated to the budget to help with the next phase of the improvements at Newman Park. How important is that to your program?
It's very important. When our fans come out to see us play, we're on turf now, and we can play in the rain, but nobody wants to come sit in the rain and watch, And then if you get up and need to go to the restroom, you'd like to be able to go to the restroom. And Mr. Warren was gracious enough to include us in Newman Park, and it's going to go a long way. It's really, really exciting.
All right, thanks, Coach. Now I want to talk to I don't know if he's the right fielder or the center fielder anymore. He keeps moving around out there. Right fielder. Dylan Driver, he's from Carson High School, lives in Faith, North Carolina. I want to congratulate Dylan first, 2023 ABCA Division II Gold Glove Award winner, 133 opportunities in the outfield, no errors. So, Dylan, how has your game improved defensively from high school to Catawba College?
Definitely just the maturity factor. I mean, in high school, it was just you get the ball, you see some guy running, you try and throw it at him, I guess. But when you get into college, it's more of a mind game than it is anything. You have to be thinking the next play ahead. You can't just think about what's happening at the moment.
You came in as a freshman, batted .338 this past year, a team-high .364. Also led the team in hits with 68, 14 doubles, 4 homers, 37 runs batted in. But you do it all. 25 stolen bases, 47 runs. On top of that, you walked 25 times. How have you improved? What's been the biggest difference coming from high school to college as a hitter? What's been the biggest challenge for you, and how have you overcome that and become this good hitter?
For me, it's definitely just going to the plate with a plan, not just going up as a hitter. Having an approach is one of the biggest things that Coach Gant and the coaching staff has kind of introduced to me, because at the beginning I had no clue what I was really doing, if I'm being honest. It was just go up, hit the pitch as it's coming at you, If it moves, so what? But being able to have an approach with where I'm hitting a fastball, that way I can cover a curveball, is a completely different mind game.
Now, you started this past season, the opening series against Shippensburg. You went 10 for 14 with 2 doubles, 6 RBIs, and 8 runs scored. You were South Atlantic Conference and Southeast Region Players of the Week. How important was that for your team to get off to such a good start last year?
I think that was instrumental into starting the season off because it gives that sense of hope and confidence going into the next weekend. It's starting conference play and, kind of making an introduction to who we are because, that's our family. So playing with a group of guys that, you can trust and play behind is important.
And for those of you that don't know, my wife, Diana Anderson, happened to be Dylan's second grade teacher at Faith Elementary School. So I have to ask for her, what are you majoring in and what are your future plans?
I'm majoring in sports management, and my plan is to work with any minor league sports team, whether that be football, baseball, basketball, anything. So,
now, either one of you can handle this question. What are your expectations for the coming season?
My expectations are definitely a lot higher than they were last year, just because the fact that the team's a lot more family bonded, it feels. Everybody plays for each other. There's no guys that really just play for themselves.
And Coach, how about you?
Well, I think he said it best there. But, of course, we'd like to win the national championship. That's always something that you're striving for. And if you're not trying to do that, you're not competing enough. But we're going to continue to go out there and compete. Our team's going well this fall. I don't know what we're going to have because you show up at some of the places we go to and they're 24 and 25 years old, and then all of a sudden you're playing grown men. It changes your mentality. But
all right, so thanks for joining us. Hopefully you have another great season this spring. Keep up the good work and keep pounding that baseball.
Thank you.
Thank
all right, let's get Coach Haynes back in here, finish up talking about the game with the Limestone Saints.